Welcome, everybody. I am so glad that you were able to join me today. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you 4 things. Why that deep down feeling that something's off is more than just mom worry, and how to start listening to it with confidence. What's really going on in your body or your child's body when traditional answers fall short. The number one hidden genetic clue behind so many unexplained symptoms, and how it affects detox, development, mood, and more, and how to finally stop spinning your wheels and begin a healing path that is simple, faith-aligned, and clear. My name is Joy. I am the founder of the Crunchy Collective, and I am a crunchy mama, believer, and an advocate walking this road right beside you. Let me start with a little bit of my story and where a lot of this came from with my experiences. Nearly 4 years ago now, I found myself sitting on the edge of the bathtub, holding my baby crying. We had just come home from another appointment where I left with no answers again. The doctor had said everything looked fine, but everything in me knew that it wasn't. I remembered whispering to God, "Please help me find what I am missing." And that moment, moving forward, changed everything. Because instead of chasing symptoms, I began looking deeper, and I realized I wasn't alone. So many of us, moms like you and I, are out here trying to connect the dots between gut issues, skin rashes, behavior changes, autism, anxiety, sensory struggles, and frankly, even our own mood swings and hormone shifts. And we're not getting answers that actually help. They just want to give us a pill. And I want to tell you the truth. I believe that when a mother knows something is off, she's usually right. And she deserves tools, not dismissal. This is a deeply personal story for me. Because this journey did not start with curiosity. It did not start with a fun conversation with a friend. It started out of desperation. Within 24 hours of my oldest daughter's 5-year vaccines, her behaviors completely changed. She went from the joyful little girl to someone I didn't even recognize. She was constantly angry, in full-blown rages, kicking, screaming, throwing things. She stopped eating almost everything. Foods that she had loved since she started solids were now completely off limits. She would only touch between 5 and 10 very specific items, and even those had to be prepared exactly right and brand specific. Not long after that, my 4-year-old got her 4-year vaccines, my middle daughter. We watched her begin to regress. She stopped talking as completely as she used to. She became withdrawn and confused. The sparkle in her eye was gone. Her mobility regressed. At 4 years old, she didn't seem to understand what was going on around her the way she used to. It was like I was watching her fade right in front of me. And then recently, my youngest daughter had some pretty horrifying symptoms that were red flags. Her toenails started falling off. Her teeth began rotting. We had to have 1 removed and 8 repaired, despite being to the dentist 6 months prior with no issues. How could this even happen? We don't eat processed foods. We avoid sugar. We do everything right. I was absolutely horrified to find out that her body was literally starving to death from the inside. So a sweet friend of mine recommended that I get her tested, and the MTHFR mutation explained everything. Her body could only absorb 20% of the nutrients she was consuming. All of those good meals I had worked so hard to make, her body couldn't even use them. That was the moment I made a choice. I stopped blaming myself. I stopped chasing surface level solutions, and I started learning what was really going on, not just in her body, but in mine too. And the truth is, this mutation does not mean that your story is over. It means it's time to write a new one. A story where healing is actually possible. This wasn't just a fluke in one of my kids. Each one of them had signs that pointed to MTHFR. Come to find out, it is genetic. If one child has it, they all have it, and it came from a parent or both. And in my girl's case, it came from both parents. Once I learned what to look for and what to do, I could finally stop spinning and start rebuilding their health from the ground up. I share this not to scare you, but to show you what's possible, because I know, because if you're in that place of confusion and fear, I need you to know you are not crazy, you are not alone, and this does not have to be the end of your story. Now, I wish I could say that once we figured all of this out, the rest was easy. But what I found next honestly made things even harder. Because once I started researching MTHFR, I fell into what I call the spiral. The internet was filled with overwhelming protocols, the expensive supplements, the conflicting advice, and frankly, a lot of fear. And what most people are being told, even in the holistic space, is just plain wrong. There's a really common belief that if you or your child has MTHFR, you need to immediately start detoxing, buy $300 worth of their affiliate linked supplements, and overhaul everything at once. But I am here to tell you that is exactly what keeps so many families stuck. So let's talk about that next. Here's kind of a synopsis of what we'll be going through. What if the things you've been told to do are actually keeping you from healing? So once I realized MTHFR was at the root of so many of our struggles we were seeing, I thought, okay, great, now I'll just fix it. But the more I researched, the more confused and afraid I became. There was so much noise online. One blog said to detox immediately. One podcast said to avoid all B vitamins unless they were methylated. A reel told me I needed $500 worth of supplements. And another person even said if your child has MTHFR and you don't treat it fast, irreversible damage could be happening. It was terrifying. And I want to gently pause here and speak to you. If you are in that same place right now, friend, I have learned this the hard way. Jumping into detox or high-powered protocols without a good understanding of your body first can do more harm than good. Here is what most people think and what I want to gently correct. Myth number 1. If you have MTHFR, you need to detox right away. This is the most common piece of advice I see, and it is so dangerous because many of us with MTHFR, our detox pathways are already compromised. Jumping into a full detox protocol can flood the system and cause reactions like fatigue, headache, anxiety, or even regression in kids. Healing is not about pushing the body harder. It's about creating safety, clarity, and stability so it can function the way it was designed to. Myth 2. Just take a methylated B complex and you'll be fine. I cannot count the amount of times I have heard this one, but if your body isn't ready to process even methylated vitamins, or if you're low in key cofactors like magnesium or potassium, you can end up feeling worse. Methylated support has to come in the right order, and more is not always better. Myth number 3. This gene isn't a big deal, it's just trendy. There are many doctors, even holistic ones, who will tell you MTHFR doesn't really matter unless it's a homozygous mutation. But that is just not true. If your body can't methylate properly, it struggles to detox. If you can't detox properly, inflammation builds up. And when inflammation builds up, it touches everything. Your mood, your sleep, your focus, your digestion, hormones, behavior, development. So no, this is not just a trend. It's a foundational piece that explains why so many things feel off, even when your labs say everything is fine. So, what to do instead? You start with understanding, you slow it down, you stop guessing and start rebuilding your foundation step by step. You do not need to panic. You just need a pathway. And that is why I created my course, so that overwhelmed moms wouldn't have to try to piece it together on their own like I did. But before I talk to you about that, I want to give you a really simple strategy, something you can start doing today to support your body and your child's, no matter where you are in this journey. We are going to start here. It's simple and it matters more than you think. Okay, so you might be thinking, I get it, MTHFR matters, but where the heck do I even begin? And I want to make this really easy for you because I know what it feels like to be overwhelmed, emotional, and running on fumes. So instead of handing you a long to-do list or a complex protocol, I'm just going to give you one simple starting point that can begin shifting things immediately. Remove synthetic folic acid. That's it. That's your first move. And it's way more powerful than it sounds. Why does this matter? If you or your child has an MTHFR mutation, your body cannot convert folic acid into usable folate efficiently. That means that folic acid, which is synthetic, builds up in your system. And over time, that buildup creates a traffic jam, blocking the real bioavailable folate that your body needs to complete essential functions like detoxifying, creating more neurotransmitters, supporting fetal development for those that are pregnant, regulating hormones, building red blood cells, and so much more. And in fact, high levels of unmetabolized folic acid have been linked to behavioral challenges in children, anxiety and mood swings, gut dysbiosis, increased inflammation, fertility issues, and impaired detox capacity. And here is where it hides. What most people don't realize is how sneaky folic acid is within our food supply. You're going to find it in things like boxed cereals, even organic ones, fortified bread and crackers, granola bars, protein shakes, meal replacements, chewable vitamins, especially in kids' gummies, prenatal and children's multivitamins. So, what can you do instead? You are going to look for these ingredients: folate, specifically L5-MTHF, methylfolate, folate as quadrafolic, and anything labeled methylated or MTHFR safe. When it comes to food, choosing unfortified options when possible. So think organic oats, fresh produce, clean proteins, and snacks made without enriched flours. And don't feel like you need to do it all overnight. Start with one category, like your vitamins, then check your pantry, then your snacks. Every little swap makes a difference. All right, so I am going to give you via email 2 different bonuses for joining me here today to show my appreciation. One of them is going to be an MTHFR daily tracker, and then the other is a folic acid swap guide. The folic acid swap is going to make this super easy. I created a printable so that you can keep it on your fridge, you can keep it in your purse, so when you're shopping or checking labels, you know exactly what to avoid and what to choose instead. It includes a list of sneaky foods where folic acid hides, a cheat sheet of safe alternative ingredients, and a few of my personal favorite MTHFR safe brands. You can download that from the link I will provide via email, completely free, just something to help get you started with confidence. This step may seem small, but it was one of the first major turning points in our healing journey. We started seeing behavior shifts, better sleep, even improved digestion, just from removing the stuff that was blocking their systems from functioning properly. You do not need to do everything at once, but you do need to begin. And this is a beautiful, safe place to start. A reminder for you, healing is a journey, not a sprint. God equips you for absolutely every step. If this training has resonated with you, even a little, I want to invite you to take the next step with me. I created a mini course Understanding MTHFR, a simple path to healing for you and your kids. And I have designed it specifically for moms who feel like they've hit a wall, but know in their hearts that something deeper is going on. It is not long, it is not overwhelming, but it is your roadmap. It is going to help you understand what MTHFR is and why it matters. Learn how to support your body gently and in the right order. Avoid the most common mistakes that cause setbacks and begin a healing path rooted in clarity and peace. I am offering a beta discount for the group of women that join today. So whether you're just beginning or you're already deep in research, this course is going to help you put the pieces together and make confident choices for your family's health. If you want to stop guessing and finally feel like you have a clear, doable direction, this is for you. It is less than 2 hours total. It includes downloadable resources, and you can start right away. You're going to find the link to enroll via email or in the shop, and I truly hope to see you inside. A bonus for today, for those that choose to sign up today, you will get a free 30-minute Voxer consultation. For those of you that don't know what Voxer is, I've got a screenshot here on the screen. It is like a walkie-talkie app. And normally I charge $97 a month for unlimited access to me, to ask me all the questions, free for the first 10 ladies that enroll. So I want to leave you with this. There was a moment not long ago when I caught my daughter humming and twirling in the kitchen, a little song coming from her lips. She didn't know that I was watching. She was smiling. She was calm. Her feet were bare. Her eyes were sparkling again. And I stood there, held my breath. Because not long before that, I didn't know if I'd ever see that version of her again. This isn't about perfection or fixing everything overnight. It's all about getting your children back, getting yourself back. It's about reclaiming peace in your home and trusting the voice God placed inside of you. If you've made it this far, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being willing to learn. And thank you for fighting for your family, even when it's hard. You are not alone, and I would be honored to walk with you on this next part of the journey. I've got my course linked up on the screen. I also have a store full of free resources that I would love for you to access on my main website, www.joyakins.co. Check those out, download them. I am here to equip you and to make sure that you feel prepared. I am so honored that you joined me here today, and I hope that we get to meet soon. Thank you so much.